Welcome back for session 30. So myself Malini MV, Department of Commerce, GFGC Malur. Students, in this session, I would like to explain you about in detail the features of negotiable instrument. Again for the subject, Banking Regulations and Operation for the BBM 4th semester. So in the previous class, we discussed about the introduction part, meaning as well as the definition of negotiable instrument. So in this session, I would like to explain in detail about the features of negotiable instrument. The features of negotiable instruments are like this. It must be in writing. It must be signed by its marker. It must contain an unconditional order to pay some money. It must contain certain amount of money only. It must be freely transferable from one person to another. The transferee has to receive it in a good faith and for value. So let's discuss in detail about one by one. The first important feature discuss about it must be in writing. So as explained in the previous session, the negotiable instrument must be always in writing. The reason is that the person who is transferring the negotiable instrument to another person, the another person can able to get the eligibility in a good faith only when it is in the writing. That is meaning. Number two, it must be signed by its marker. Then again, who is the marker here? Marker is a person who is preparing the negotiable instrument, maybe a check or a bill of exchange or a promissory note. It must and should be signed by a concerned person. Next, it must contain an unconditional order to pay some money. That means whatever the amount which has been transferred by the person who is preparing the bill to the another person, there should not be any conditions. That means the amount has to be paid in order within the particular date. Next, it must it must contain certain amount of money only. That means the instrument should be prepared for the money, that is for the valid consideration, not at any gift like that. Then only we can be called as a negotiable instrument. It must be freely transferable from one person to another. So as per section 13 and subsection 1 of the Negotiable Instrument Act of 1881, you can be called an instrument as negotiable when it can be transferred from one person to another. Next, the transferee has to receive it in good faith and for value without any negligence. That means the transferee, who is transferee here? Transferee is a person to whom we are transferring the negotiable instrument. He has supposed to receive the instrument in good faith and for the value. When you see the next slide, freely transferability. Very few important things when you come across the features of a negotiable instrument. The most important some tip points you have to what keep in mind is that freely transferability. Here, freely transferability in the sense that the ownership of the property in negotiable instrument is freely transferable. That is, it is the bearer instrument. Its property can be transferred by mere delivery. On the other hand, if it is an order, the instrument, its property can be endorsed and by delivery. It can be freely transferable or it can be endorsed. That is the meaning of this slide. The next slide is concentrating on negotiability. What is negotiability here? Here, negotiability in the sense that the bona fide transferee of negotiable instrument becomes a holder in due course and gets a better title that of the transferor or any of the previous holder. That means here two persons are there, transferor and transferee. Transferor is a person who is preparing the bill. Transferee is a person to whom the bill is transferred. Negotiability in the sense that transferee of the negotiable instrument is a holder who is going to receive the title in due course or any other previous holder. That means as negotiable instruments are transferable from one person to another, that means the party to whom, sorry, from whom we have received the instrument, that can be a previous holder or any other kind of a transferor, so that the transferee can able to receive the instrument in the good faith. The next slide is about right of action in his own name. That means the holder in due course of the negotiable instrument are entitled to see the transferor or any other person liable on the instrument in his own name without giving him any notice. That means the holder in due course of the negotiable instrument are entitled to see the transferor or any person liable on the instrument in his own name without giving him any notice. That means, suppose in future, after receiving the negotiable instrument, for example, right now, the check is valid for 3 months. That means within 3 months, to the person to whom we are giving the check can able to receive the amount. Suppose is not in a position to claim the amount in the check, then you can directly the transferee as all the right to put right of action in use. No, again is the transferor. That is the right what the transferee is enjoying. Next, some of the basic presumptions has to be keep in mind as per section 118 and 119 of the Negotiable Instrument Act of 1881. A certain presumptions which are applicable only to all negotiable instrument. That means what are those basic presumptions should be there in order to fulfill its features. That is number one, consideration. Here consideration in the sense that it is presumed that every negotiable instrument has been made for the consent. That is very important. I can't say it can be transferred with gift or at free. No. So the basic presumption is that there should be consideration. Next, date. Every negotiable instrument bears a date when it was made or drawn. That means when the transferor is going to prepare the bill, that date can be valid, or the person to whom we have transferred the bill, within that particular date he can draw the. And time of acceptance, that every person, that means bill of exchange has been accepted within a reasonable time after being made or before its maturity. That means I told just now, whatever the instrument that you are going to transfer can be valid only within the date or before its maturity period. That is the meaning. Next slide. Time of transfer. That every transfer of negotiable instrument has been made before its maturity. That's very important. If I prepare the bill right now, I have to transfer within 3 months or the stipulated time. If you transfer after that maturity period, there is no any validity for the instrument. Order of the instrument, endorsement appearing negotiable instrument has been made in the same order in which they appear on the instrument. That's true. Next, holder in due course. Holder in due course means any person who for consideration become a possessor of the promissory note, bill of exchange or a check if payable to the bearer or to the payee or endorsee thereof. That means if payable to order before the amount mentioned in it becomes a payable and without having sufficient causes to believe that any defect existing in the title of the person from whom he desired his title. That means here exactly holder in due course is a person for whom the consideration becomes the possessor of the promissory note. That means again here the holder in due course is the person to whom we are transferring. Again, The on the cut mean that it can be transferred only for the valid consideration, either a bill or a promissory note or a check, if payable to the bearer or a payee or a NRC. That is the meaning. Okay. Next slide. That means, so in this session, I would like to try to discuss about the very important features of negotiable instrument and what are the basic presumptions that should be there in order to fulfill the basic features of the negotiable instrument. So thank you. We will discuss the other part of negotiable instrument in the next session. Thank you.